Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this Sunday morning. We are going to be chatting it up about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So I have a mashup. If you're new to the channel, a mashup is when I bring all these housewife topics together that some people report on separately, and I do it all in one video. And let me know what you guys want to start with from the top. I have Gigi Hadid and Yolanda Hadid. As you know, Zion or Zane, he there was a domestic violence situation there with Yolanda. So then moving forward and forgiveness on that, we also have Kathy and Kyle's new businesses and partnerships. We also have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Erika Jane, looking pretty raunchy out here in these streets. And we also have, last but not least, I believe that's it for my stories. So let me know what you guys want to talk about first. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I got all my stuff open, ready to go for you guys. Hi, Mama B5. How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you for coming and joining me. Hi, Mrs. B Finesse. I'm here to listen and learn. I'm new to the housewife game. All right, I'm going to let you know what is going on. She's awesome at covering them. Thank you. All right, let's start with Erica. Let's start with Kathy and Kyle, since they're kind of short stories, and we'll build our way up to the Hadids. So and you know me, I like to share my screen just so you guys can read what I'm reading, see what I see, and we can also make our own judgments as well. So it's not just based off of me. So let's start with Kathy. So this article is from E! Online. So they're going to give, so basically Kathy Hilton has partnered with Amazon to display her Amazon pick. So as you know, there's plenty of housewives or other celebrities that have transferred over into partnerships with Amazon for different items. Candy Burruss has been doing it very well. She did the Halloween one, which is the most recent one. And then there was a purpose for her being in the show so much. Bravo making money. New, not needed. So let me know if you guys can hear me all right. So, because we just had a little bit of a mic issue. So one thing is that she's going through and she's picking out her Amazon things. I'm not going to go through all of them, but it's just nice to see, what does Kathy Hilton, the Hilton, think that you could buy to get an iconic backyard like her. You can get these Amazon basic towels, serving tray with handles, which I think is a really nice idea, especially entertaining. It's probably not great for us who are in the Northeast section because we're getting ready for the winter, but I mean, it's still an awesome thing to have. Lumbar pillows, those are always good. Wicker storage basket, a wood stump stool accent table, cube modern ivory. That's a cool thing to have. A umbrella, lounge chair, $336 for lounge chair. Has anybody seen like how like furniture just keeps getting more and more pricey? But it's like, it's not the best materials. You know, it's not like it's leather, it's pleather, and it's like, you know, a lot of money. A love seat and a table for $481. An outdoor dining set, $536. If you're like me, you're probably like, man, I'd just rather just go to Facebook Marketplace and see what I find. than to pay $536. That's a lot of money for just furniture. But I guess that's what happens when you have disposable income. Now I'm going to be getting into the let me know what you guys think. Do you think those prices are reasonable for the average American? Because again, minimum wage is set at $7.35 or something in this country. So let me know what you guys think. And this is also my first doing a live this early in the day. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Yes, it's ridiculous. They seem to be out of touch with the fans. I agree. I don't see it. If you guys are, we just had Lisa Vanderpump fighting against, a $17 minimum wage, and then you guys want people to buy $536 outdoor set. I like the wood stump stool. And the thing is that I could probably make a wood stump stool cheaper than what they're paying. I could probably go out there, chop the wood, and put it together. Cube is cute. Yeah, I thought the cube was cute really too. I'm surprised she's not doing a glass crystal line. This isn't her stuff. She's picking stuff off of Amazon that she would think would look great to get something similar to her. Which housewife franchise is that lady from? So Kathy Hilton, she is a friend of on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And she's the sister of Kyle Richards, or half-sister, one of the two. So we're going to go ahead and talk about her sister next, who's a full-time housewife. So there's full-time housewives, and then there's what is it? Friends ofs on the show. In my opinion, that's a $200 patio table set. I agree. This is not the set that is, worth that much. Like I could go on a Facebook Marketplace to get a better quality one for probably like $100. I just have to go pick it up. Yes, they have money to waste, so it means nothing to them. And the thing, this is like what she thinks that we should be able to afford. So this is what she thinks is cheap enough for us. This is not even playing a part into, what is it? It's not even like touching their money, in a way, like they're millionaires. So probably what they think is like, oh, that's chump change, is probably even less. Like, $1 million to one person, to me is a big deal, but to them may not be. So like my $10 to a millionaire is 10 cents. That's remember the ratio we're looking at when we look at money with them. So to her, this, dining room set is like $5.36 to her, when it's truly to me $536. So we have to remember what is the frame of reference for these. I'm going to learn on the cheap renovators to select my options they get. I know they go to like thrift stores and just paint new hardware, and they just keep it pushing. So the only thing with that is that you have to have space to be able to make those types of moves. You need time and you need space. Yes, out of touch. Yes, makes sense. Now you explain this is for that person. Okay. Yes. So let me go ahead and pull up her sister, because her sister, they were just filming in their sister's new restaurant. And if you wanted to check out more about that Kathy article, or if you have $536 to spend on a dining room set, that was an E online. I do try to put my articles in the description, but sometimes that doesn't always happen before I finish my lives. I think I have it here. No, I have it here. It's up here somewhere. Come on, Kyle. So according to heavy.com, which I'm pulling up now, I think my internet's just running a little laggy right now. So, boop. But hopefully it speeds up soon. All right. So Kyle Richards shares big business news. Kyle Richards shared big news with her fans. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star revealed that she has launched a new business venture and that it's in a city that's dear to her heart. In a video shared with fans, Kyle was seen outdoors at a shopping center with the camera crew behind her. The Bravo star asked fans if they knew where she was. Then she revealed that she was in Palm Desert, California. Kyle owns a home in Palm Desert, and her husband, Mauricio, also has an office for his real estate brokerage company, The Agency, in the city. So let's look at the video that she shared with us on Instagram.
Okay, so hi guys. I guess I should wait for some of you to sign on. That's what people do have noticed instead of just talking right away. But anyway, hi everybody. I'm waiting for Morgan to sign on. Hi everybody. Okay. There's enough of you guys to sign on. So I'm really excited to share it with you. Right now, guess where I'm at? Take a little guess where I'm at. Can you guess where I'm at? I am in Palm Desert, California. And that may or may not be a camera behind me. Anyway, something very exciting that I've wanted to do for so long is finally happening tonight. And here we are. It is so gorgeous out. It's like this hot, balmy, gorgeous, perfect weather night tonight. So what's happening tonight? Right in between Louis Vuitton and Bottega Veneta. And I wish I could pronounce that place. We all know that place. I can't pronounce that. But guess what, guys? I'm opening a store. My store. I have a store again. So I'm opening a store here in Palm Desert, in the shopping center, right across from Saks, and by actual coincidence, and not even joking, right across from the agency, because we have the agency here in Palm Desert. So anyway, we are doing a opening tonight here with some friends of mine. Some you may know. Anyway, so I'm very excited. It's now all coming together and feeling very real. And we're going to have, right now we have just my line, Kyle and Shahida. And eventually we're going to be bringing in other things, some of my favorite stuff, to, stuff that's cohesive that would go with my line. And I'm really excited. Probably just going to do this one store because it's a perfect spot for it. And I have a home here, so it makes sense. But, hi, Vander Richards. Hi, One Funny Lisa Marie. Hi, guys. Anyway, I'm really excited. And hi, Michelle. Hi, Mary. Are you filming this for the house?
She always has businesses opening and closing, so it doesn't. All right, how's that better? Because I was messing with my mic. All right, let me know. I know it's like a 10-second delay, so let me know in the chat. Let me know when you guys can hear me. Okay, good. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mama BH. Thank you, Miss B Finesse. All right. So basically she's had businesses in the past who've opened, closed. You know, she's one of those housewives that's never really like had a whole bunch of businesses that stick around, like Candy Burruss or Bethany skinny girl. So it's going to be very interesting how this all is going to work out for her. And then the next topic was going to be Lisa Rinna. So that's the person I missed. So Lisa Rinna, and if you don't know who Lisa Rinna is, she is a sponsor girl of Depends. So let me pull up that article. This article is from, let's see, boop. It's from Pop Culture, and it was posted on Friday. So Lisa Rinna speaks out about her daughter Delilah's shocking overdose. So this is her daughter Delilah Bell. That's her name on Instagram. She has 1.6 million followers on Instagram. So basically, she's revealing that, my daughter has an addiction. You know, she's going to be seeking help, and different things like that. So we're starting to see a lot of these housewives who have been on the show, the effects of being in the starlight and being in this bright light, or their parents' poor choices catching up with the children. Because Teresa Giudice on New Jersey just revealed that her children are going to be seeking therapy due to the fact that, her and her husband made poor choices, decided to commit fraud and do fraudulent behaviors, and had to go to jail. And their father ultimately got deported because of that. So it was a lot going on, but now the children are like, they were going through that process, but now the children are like, you know what, I need professional help, which is kudos for them, because I don't think enough people speak about mental health. But also a lot of people are not being very kind to Lisa in regards to this. So let's look into what the article has to say, and then I'll give you my opinion. Feel free to drop in the chat, what do you think about this article, or what do you think about Lisa Rinna? Lisa Rinna has spoken out following her daughter Delilah Bell's recent hospitalization following an accidental overdose. The Beverly Hills star thanked her followers for reaching out and sending prayers for her and her family during these difficult times. Thank you to all the angels who have reached out, sharing their stories, sending their love and prayers. We're so grateful to all of you, all of your help and your guidance. Delilah opened up on Tuesday in a sensitive video on Instagram, revealing that she had developed an addiction to Xanax and other prescription drugs after she had a doctor overprescribe her to the drugs. My body got dependent on Xanax, number 1, and number 2, I overdosed. I didn't mean to do it at all. I overdosed on this one medication called, I'm not a pharmacist, I don't know how to say it, but we'll try, propanol. I took Benadryl with it, and for some reason, I ended up in the hospital. So, I think the one thing I want to talk about clearly is overprescribed. Okay. So one thing that I think is a really big trend, in these, environments is that we actually have these children or these doctors who favor certain demographics, okay? Because I know for a fact that if I walked into my doctor's office or any doctor's office, that I would not be able to get overprescribed for Xanax. I would only get a 15 count, for 10 days, and then have to prove, again, that I still need this drug and prove it again. But I used to be a pharmacy technician for CVS, and the amount of pills they would give people of a certain, palm colored 8.5 by 11, and if you don't know what 8.5 by 11 is, it's this. Those people of that complexion, they would give them a lot more, and this is opioids, this is Xanax, it's all these different kinds of prescription controlled substances. So let me know what you guys think in the chat. I'm going to be reading some of them out loud. Those babies also lost their grandparents who were everything to them. I agree. It's a lot of changes going on, you know, as they enter this certain time in their life. Xanax makes people crazy with tragic effects, especially if misused. Yes, I agree. And I think the doctor giving her over amount didn't really help. And I wish that they would have more of a standard and give them like a lower amount. Oh yeah, at max a month supply and early refills. Yes, because you can refill your like certain prescriptions. You can get them refilled up to like 5 days beforehand, and then other ones they have to wait, or sometimes it's up to the pharmacist's discretion if they want to, they can override the system to give you those prescriptions. So, I always talk about the DMV. That's where I'm at. So I was becoming store manager in training. I was trying to get my own store. So I was traveling a lot at different locations, trying to learn the ropes about different, because I was also not just only a pharmacy technician, but I was a essentially what you consider like assistant manager in a sense. But they didn't have those roles at, it's either you're a shift supervisor or the store manager. They don't have that next step in between. And I remember distinctively when I was at the Hagerstown location, the amount of pills and opioids that go through those locations between West Virginia, Hagerstown, and Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, is ridiculous. It was so bad that they had a list of certain places where you could not get prescriptions from. And there was people in the area, doctor's offices in the areas, who would actually have a pad, and they would sell you, at the prescription pad, they would sell you, what you wanted. So if you say oh, I want to get this type of controlled substances, they'll be like, okay, that's $50. You have to pay me $50 and then take the prescription. And then because these places were so low income, they would then use their, public health insurance, the government health insurance, to get it for $0, $5, no more than $10 a prescription. And there was people who would also sell these prescriptions. Let me see what you guys say in the chat. Isn't this similar to Prince and MJ? And they went for those people who aren't. We're hearing about about anyone investigating this one. Exactly. They're not. That's the thing. What she might determine as, again, this is what she's saying, the victim, Delilah, is saying about being overprescribed. We don't actually know what is the, actual threshold. All I know is that there's a strict difference between the haves and the have-nots, the, people of a certain complexion versus another, and the amount that they get. It's awful. I'm in Ohio, and they come here to the paying doctor and go there to fill them at full price. Oof. And then the thing is that you can take those pills and then they have a street value to them, and then you can sell them and and then repeat the cycle again and again. And then in Pennsylvania, there is no what is it? You don't have to give your ID for a controlled substance. So I think another step forward is actually implementing a federal thing where people have to show identification to get it, because some of these names I saw didn't seem credible. People didn't seem like it was a real person to me. It could be that I'm just being prejudiced and just thinking that, but it seemed like there was no real person that would be named Mary Sue Johnson, and I'm like. And then it's a man picking up for these 3 different people at one address, but they're all different names. And they all had some different type of controlled substances. One would have a perk, one would have oxy, one would have this. And there's no way you could actually be you can't track it for him because he doesn't have to give you his ID. He just has to give you these names and date of births, and then he's on his way and pay for the medicine, and he's on his way. Let's keep going with what you guys. Absolutely. And their social standing. Exactly. Gee, they are doing the most. What? That's ridiculous. Yes, in Pennsylvania, you don't have to. You don't have to show your ID at all. When I came from Maryland and I went over there to help at a Pennsylvania store that was struggling, trying to keep up with this, because they were right next to a hospital. So they would all the prescriptions would automatically be sent to that location, and they were understaffed, or they had new people that still didn't know all the ins and outs of how to do prescriptions. So I came there to help, which was really nice because then they paid for my what is it? They paid for like per mileage and I got like overtime and different things like that. So I was making some good money to be there, at like 18, 19 years old. It was such good money to have, but it was a lot of work. They would go in groups to Florida, Texas, and Ohio and fill on the way home. And then the driver took his share and they hit the streets. Oh my goodness. That is so terrifying. Well, for here, what they do in Maryland is go to Pennsylvania, you get it filled there because you don't have to give an ID. And it's probably even worse now that there's a mask mandate because then you can't even see them. And CVS doesn't have like outside cameras, so you wouldn't be able to really see like the person's car or anything like that if they park on the sides, because they don't have cameras. Because they don't really want to deal with that type of level of stuff most of the time, unless it's a better they don't even do it in like better communities. Something they don't really invest in that system. They want to focus on what's in the store. So I'm assuming with it being a mask mandate right now, you can go into Pennsylvania, you can give them a prescription. They fill it, and it could be a dumb name, a name that nobody would use. Let's just say Jane Doe. Jane Doe. A guy comes in, gets the prescription, pays for it. What they do then is they drive back down to Maryland, to Hagerstown, where they are at like the triangle. That's what we call it, the triangle. Because from Hagerstown, you can go this way over to Baltimore, you can go down to DC. And you can start getting access that way to different locations. Because there's two different points that you can go to 95, which is Baltimore and DC. So you can run it to Baltimore and then make money that way, or you can run it down to DC and make money that way to sell it. So I didn't mean to make this like for us to uncover the drug issues, but I do think it's important that, we talk about this because, again, if somebody of my complexion went in to get went to a doctor to get these types of prescriptions legitimately, we actually have to fight to prove that we are in pain. Because for some apparent reason, they have it in their head that, African Americans do not experience pain in the same way, or that we have a higher threshold of pain because we were slaves. Let me know what your thoughts are on what I just said. I'm going to get the other article up and going. It's going to be for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Erika. And remember, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a second while I pull it out. All right, so Erika Jayne, has been seen in the streets wearing this. This is heels, a shirt, no pants, and probably no panties. Because, again, by her own admission, she doesn't wear panties all the time. And, the thing is that remember how bad we were talking about her looking and pitiful she was looking at the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion compared to this look? You can see that she was just putting on, She was trying to make us feel sorry for her, that she was going through this hard time. She was broke. She was this, she was that. But you know what? She's back at it again. Got her pumps. And she's at a mansion in Bel Air, showing off her legs. I need a better picture. There's like plenty of pictures of this. But it's like, look at her makeup. Look how flawless this looks compared to what she did to us for the reunion. It was a ploy to get us like thinking that she was really sad. Let's get to the next one. You were right. That's why I left nursing. I agree. There's so much going on. That's so ignorant. We all humans and feel pain so silly. They use that excuse back in the day to torture people. And they still do it today. I have, like, you know, if I have like some sort of pain or discomfort, I have to prove it. So her face is getting fatter though. I think it's also maybe like she may not be able to get all the Botox and stuff that she used to keep it in place, because that stuff moves. I hear. I don't have any and I don't want any, but I hear that it moves. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. But she's all dolled up, looking fly, pretty. Her hair looks good. Her nails are good. She's wearing some pretty pumps. She's at a mansion. So what do you guys think? Let me know. This is the picture I'm talking about. Look how, and then she's wearing this big ring. So for those who are unaware, that's a Cartier Panther ring, most likely. Like I would bet money on it. That's the Cartier Panther ring. And Cartier Panther rings, like they range, from like $5,000 to over $300,000 rings. And the items that she's bragged about having is and that looks like that's the $189,000 Cartier ring. So if you're wondering what happened to these victims' money, that's what happened. She spent it. So that's $189,000 ring. Look under her chin. Mama, you are hilarious. All right, Miss V, I understand, of course. Just keep me in the background. That's perfect. But it's like, why? Why would you want to, and then she also has the alligator skin wallet. Those aren't cheap. And then I'm not sure, but she is keeping it simple with this jewelry. But this ring, that's a Cartier ring. All right, let me, and if you want to hear more about the expenditures of what Erika's spent, you please check out my last video, my last live last night. I am going to try and, edit it and pull out that content and make it a separate video available for people. But in that video, you can actually see that, what she spent money on, bragged about, from their 2 airplanes to flying across the country. We go into all of it, and also the different lawsuits and why those were occurring. And some of them settled, some of them are still going on, and some of them didn't get enough traction in the media to find out what is going on. So we may need to have some friends in California actually look into it and find more content. Let's look at. She put it into gifts. Yes. So again, that expenditure is a lot of money, That is a lot of money. People that could actually, help people. So that's one thing that pisses me off about Erika Jayne's demeanor and attitude about this situation, is because literally, I personally, even if I just found out, which, and that's giving her too much of the benefit of the doubt, but if I literally just found out that my husband of so many years had been stealing money from widows, plane crash victims, burn victims, people that just basically were mistreated wrong, and that funded my lavish lifestyle, I would feel so much guilt. All right, I would feel that would weigh so heavy on my chest, on my back. It would just weigh me down. But again, I'm a good person. At least I feel like I'm a better person than her, I feel. The fact that she feels like she should be absolved of all this is disgusting. It needs to all be sold. It needs to all her assets needs to be, taken. Like, how they do those movies where like they start emptying out the whole house and they sell everybody's stuff to make up a debt. That's what needs to happen here. It doesn't need to be and it's just the fact that you should be disgusted that like, my rings, my this, my that, all of it's a lie. Because you hear it once, you hear it twice, and Emily Baker says it a lot. No legitimate lawyer who's not working for corporations makes $500,000 a year. And even if they do, that's $189,000 ring. So that's half of his salary that would have been spent. Yes, Mama, we need Mama G. Baker to get on the case and and tell the truth and find these documents, find these lawsuits. That's what we really need. Maybe she has done it, but we'll see what happens. They made Willie Nelson sell everything he owned over taxes. This is way worse. Why no forced auction like we would be forced to do? That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to uncover, is because that's what I went into last night, was that it seems like he had connections with a whole bunch of people. And I think until they catch up with the tax fraud, because again, she's saying that her business from like 2008, 2009, whenever it was started, the EJ Global, did not turn a profit. So that's, 13 years ish of not turning not returning a profit. So if you're not returning a profit on this and you're getting the tax benefits of it, the IRS needs to go back through. The state of California needs to go back through. Let's see. I've said it when she's never sorry. She's never sorry. It's never said, I'm sorry for anything he may or may not have done, and I want it to be right. And she should sell everything. We all know she's hiding money for down the road. I agree. I think that there's money hidden somewhere. And the thing is that I want to know where these bodies are buried. That's the thing. I will stalk her later. Exactly. I don't think this is going to go away, and I think we need to keep eyes on her. I don't think people are like, oh, she needs to be off the show, da 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 da. No, she needs to be on the show. We need to be able to see this and document this, so then we can find out where she's going, who she knows, and she can still be recognized. No, it was money laundering. Money laundering. Money laundering. I'm not sure what she meant there. I might be a little late on that comment. But again, support the channel. I'm going to be pulling up the next story, which is our final story, which is on the Gigi Hadid stories. Because basically, there was a domestic violence situation where Zayn from One Direction, who formerly was in One Direction, he pled no contest for her. And he was ultimately dropped from his label because of it. So let's get into it. Let me pull it up. Give me a second. So according to the Overtimer, Gigi Hadid's brother and sister now hate Zayn Malik over his assault of their mother, Yolanda Hadid. So Gigi Hadid is a model. She's on her way to be a supermodel, and she's one of the most recognized models here in United States of this age group. Isn't Yolanda sick? Yeah, I know that she was going through a lot of different health issues. So, I think we're going to have to get into what happened, basically. I'm going to just give you the summarized version of it. Basically, her daughter, Gigi, and Zayn, they've been dating. They have a child together, and Gigi was away. Yolanda showed up unannounced, allegedly. Again, all this is alleged, and this is just a synopsis. This is just, if you want to get the full story, get into it. There's articles and articles and articles. I'm just going to give you like the 60-second spiel of it all. And they got together. They have a child. She was out of town. And the mom, Yolanda, shows up unexpected to the residence and, like, in a way demanding to see the child, all this different stuff. And he allegedly pushed her or strike her, or it's one of the two. We haven't really discovered which one it was. And since there's not going to be a trial, we'll probably never really find out exactly. But we know that there was some sort of physical contact, some sort of assault occurred. He then said, like, profane words to her and get out, all these different things. So ultimately, Yolanda then pressed charges against him. And he pled no contest, which means that he's guilty and he doesn't want to go to trial for it, which means he doesn't want all his stuff dragged through the mud. So he took a plea deal, copped a plea deal. He was ultimately dropped from his record company in relations to this incident, and really hasn't had contact with GiGi and Yolanda since. And that is the short of it all. So now we're leading into the aftermath of all of this. And, I wanted to go through this article with you guys. So Gigi Hadid's brother and sister hate Zayn Malik over his assault scandal. This is according to reports. Zayn, for his part, was accused of striking at Yolanda following a heated argument. But now it seems Zayn has also burned his bridges with Gigi's sister, Bella Hadid, and her brother, Anwar Hadid, who have also cut ties with Zayn. So a source told US Weekly the following: Bella has had a huge rift with him, as does her brother. They hate him for what he has done to their sister. This has been shown by Bella's social media activity. Bella has decided to unfollow Zayn from Instagram, but rather than follow up with a verbal tirade against him, she decided to do something more subtle. And an Instagram photo of Bella, again, this is the sister of Gigi, shared a following image in the picture here. We can see a photo of someone doing what seems to be some sort of meditation. The words in the picture include, "I cannot do nothing for you but work on myself. You can do nothing for me but work on yourself." Fans were under the impression that Bella was trying to tell Zayn that he needed to go and sort out his issues. Regardless of whether she was referring to him or not, he will have to get his act together for the following reasons. First of all, he was dropped from his record label following the scandal. Secondly, he needs to remain in a good mental place to be able to co-parent for his daughter. And he's also having a hard time living in the United States without his own family there. We will see him in rehab next. Yeah, so that was the first thing that came out, that he had, like, mental health issues. He was abusing substances, different things like that. And remember, he is from across the pond. And when I looked into where he's actually from, it is not the best place. It's like the hood, though. Like the hood, though. Like really, really, really the hood, though, of the UK. So I think he does probably need to go either back to like the UK and work with his family and discuss some, like, maybe some trauma. So he has, like, issues. He has a history. I think that he does have a history. I think that there's something there and we just can't, piece it all together. But he's not, like, in his right mind. And I'm not saying that's an excuse to hurt someone, but I do think that he does need, like, some help. And I hope when they finalize all this sentencing that that's part of the, conditions of his, his release. The group split from him over his behavior and issues. Sorry, my daughter dragged me through the stage. Through that stage. I know, I understand completely. But overall, like, This is really sad. This is really hurt. And so I want to also get into the reality blurb article, which basically goes into Gigi's, trying to make this new step, and that goes into the forgiveness part of this live. So is Gigi Hadid open to reconciliation with Zayn Malik? Source speaks as they meet with lawyers over custody, plus how Yolanda Hadid feels after the altercation. Again, everything is alleged. This is coming from Reality Blurb. If you don't like it, check it out with the Reality Blurb. Multiple reports are shedding new light on how Gigi Hadid feels about her ex-boyfriend, Zayn Malik, after his heated dispute with her mother, Yolanda, and if she's open to reconciling with him. The incident occurred on September 29th when Zayn reportedly got physical with Gigi's mother, who is a former cast member of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Court documents reveal that Zayn allegedly shoved Yolanda against a dresser. Also during the incident, he threw insults at the star and asked her to stay away from his daughter. Although Gigi and Zayn broke up after the dispute, Gigi recently made it clear that her daughter needs her dad, according to a source close to People. Her priority is to co-parent in a civil way. So what do you think? Do you think that Gigi should be trying to make, steps to keep Zayn in her child's life? Or do you think it's best for her to separate and make Zayn work and fight to get back involved? Let me know what your thoughts are. Replay crew, comments, let me know below. The court documents also reveal that Zayn was accused of harassing Gigi herself, as he allegedly told her to strap on some effing balls and defend your partner against your effing mother in my house. He's also accused of calling Yolanda a effing Dutch. Oh, woo. I told you he said some things. I wasn't sure exactly. And mama, yes, it's horrible because it could destroy a family. Such a small child in the mix. I agree. Reconcile with strict rules. They obviously need some sort of therapy now. Plus, he needs to be solo to become a blessed person. I agree. I think also being thrusted in the limelight at that teenage year and then having all this access, money, power, and then now like coming back down, it probably wasn't helpful for his, issues. Let's see, as the article continues. One of People's sources claimed Yolanda and Zayn have had a strained relationship since the baby was born. Zayn has a complicated personality, and Yolanda wanted him to treat Gigi better. The source then shared that it was hard at times for Gigi to live with him. Another source close to Zayn said the incident occurred after Yolanda came to the house uninvited while Gigi was at work. At the time, Zayn was watching their daughter, which somehow led to an argument. Hey there, Macabelly12 Crash. I feel so bad for Gigi. She must be torn up about this. I agree. It must be it must be so hard. Like, honestly, it must be so hard. But one thing I'm not trying to not say that people shouldn't talk about this, but I really, have a really big distaste for when people say there are issues. There was these issues prior to a big incident, or it was hard living with him, or this and that, or there was tough times. Like, there's difference between tough times and there's difference between someone having abusive tendencies. And I think we keep not showing up for the right people. If it was hard for you to live with him, what do you think's gonna happen when you have a child? I'm not blaming Gigi at all. Because she's a young lady and we all have our own course in life. And we all have our own choice in life. So I'm not sure. Miss B Finesse, have to charge. We'll be back if you're still on. Interesting info. No problem. I'm hoping getting you up to speed. And if you guys want to check out my other videos, I have tons and tons of content I'm getting into and more videos as we go along. And the adoration of all ladies build their egos up, and they can't cope with the light when the light dims. Exactly. I don't think he's able to cope with it. And he's not, he's a great artist and different things like that, but not a great person. And we're starting to see this, as time goes on. A lot of these people who are very talented do not always end up being the best person. I'm surprised David Foster hasn't gotten involved. He seemed kind of controlling. That hasn't come out yet, but with these celebrities, I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out later on as we keep hearing back. Because again, we're hearing back on something that happened over a month ago, but it's just making treadway now in the blogs. All right. A source tells E! News that Gigi and Zion are both in contact over Kai, which is their daughter, and making decisions for her. Gigi and Zion have both met with lawyers separately. They both want to make sure they can sort out the custody situation with Kai, and both feel entitled to custody of her. A source close to Gigi added she needs space. They have been in communication and have been working on how they will continue to co-parent, but it's very tense right now. They do both want what's best for Kai and are trying to be civil. So basically, this is another source told E! That Yolanda, used to call Zion, was like a son to her, different things like that. And Yolanda is very distraught about what happened, especially after everything she has done for Zion and welcoming and how welcome she has been. Gigi and Bella have been staying in New York City and have been truly been supporting each other. They have a great family support system and are glad they have each other to lean on. The whole family wants Gigi to be done with Zion for good. They have seen this behavior before and think that's unacceptable. Zion previously made a statement to TMZ emphasizing adamantly that Yolanda's claims are false, and he hoped to move forward with these family issues in private. But, however, he pled no contest to harassing Gigi and Yolanda and will therefore serve 3 months of probation. He can have no contact with Yolanda, and the pop star also must attend anger management classes. Do you guys think that punishment fits fits what happened? I know they weren't able to prove the assault or whatever else, but they proved harassing. And, they had enough to do harassing and plead down to that. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments. I'm going to be clicking with you guys. He thought he was the next JT and was just average in comparison to up and coming. Yeah, he's not that, spectacular, thing. He's handsome. Don't fault him or that. But again, you're still too young in your career for like it to be like, yes, that's God we have to listen to, and also I think like for the genre of music he's in, that pop, there's always a new artist coming out, a new this, a new that. So it's hard to really be on top. And guys, so that's the end of my spiel today. I really want to thank everyone for coming out today, supporting the channel. I know it's not fun being up. And I know it's not, easy to get up early, to do these lives and to have conversations. I love all of you for showing up. So above my head over on this side, I have to be on the opposite side. You can support the channel by donating cash, buy me a coffee. Something that I really want to buy me a coffee is a bedazzled gap and start like acting like this is a real courtroom. If you guys have anything else you want to talk about, drop it in the chat and I'll get into it as well. But that was a synopsis of what I had to talk about for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Did you see my question about to read? No, unfortunately I didn't. Could you just drop it in the chat real quickly and I'll go over it? I have no problem like talking about the read situation. I think I might have missed it because I was having a little bit of a StreamYard issue where it seemed like I was moving slower. So feel free to drop it in the chat. And we've also reached over 100 subs. So I'm probably going to have to update this now. We've reached 150 subs on the channel. We're trying to go ahead and get to that $1,000 mark. So if you guys could share it, like, comment, all those things support the channel and move us closer to that goal. And if you're wondering, hey, why hasn't anybody seen her? Or, all these other people should listen to her. She's great content, different things that she's great opinions. I like her opinions. Why isn't her channel grown? You know what I gotta say to that? It's because you didn't share my shit. You didn't share my shit. You love what we do here, so share it. Enjoy it. And I'll keep it coming, guys. Let's see. Did you see my question about to read? Let's see. She has a dog. How did she not hear the dog barking when the window broke? How did she get that close to her and no response from the dog? So allegedly, she gave the dog that Vanderpump gave her back to her. That's what I'm hearing. And that, honestly, I've done, lives on it, and I have a couple of videos, short videos on it. But it doesn't really talk about the dog because the dog was given back to Vanderpump. But the story's not there for me because, for me, it's like, you guys are bringing up good commentary on the video, saying, what happened to the rental cop? What happened to this? So there's a different dog. Okay. So what supposedly happened and what's been built up to me, and again, everything's alleged because guess what? I wasn't in Beverly Hills. I wasn't in Los Angeles. But this is my opinion of what had occurred from what I'm hearing. Basically, 2 or 3 guys got into her development, got through a gate, went to a window where the children normally do their studies, broke said window, climbed through, went upstairs to Dorit, who, while PK was still in the UK, went upstairs to Dorit, found Dorit, and then told her to get out to bed and take them to the jewels, take them to the stuff. And a lot of the stuff I can't say because it's a lot of, we're going to off with your head and off with your head. So I can't really say too much about that on YouTube. They don't really care for that. And basically that's what happened. They ended up getting her for a lot of money. They said, oh, we should blow your head off. She's like, no, I'm a mom. And kind of following the script of what occurred with Kim K. So there's a lot of, she doesn't know what vehicle they drove off in. They didn't tie her up. They didn't harm her children, didn't even go into the children's room. They took a lot of her belongings and then left and made way. And then one thing was that the police report did say that it was 2 or 3 black guys, black men in black clothing who left in a black car, a black Suburban, black truck. So I'm not really sure how that happened, or, it wasn't really a good description, especially since she's a fashion designer, supposedly. You think that she would know, body build, height, everything like that. That all was missing. I know it's all been transferred now to the special police that, investigate crimes against the rich and celebrities, the famous. So they have their own department in LA. Yes, the photo from the hoodie. Look out of the window. There's a dog. So I guess you might have another dog. But yeah, there's nothing about dog barking. And then the so silent alarm was sent to the police when the window broke. Supposedly no. So Teddy's husband has his own, security firm, and they were the ones that put in the security system, allegedly. And there's been a lot of break-ins with the system that he's put in place. So it could be an inside job, outside job, but there's there's not a lot of information that's still developing. BS, no footage anywhere of the vehicle coming and going. Again, this is the thing that's puzzling about the story, and it was so convenient because literally I'm surprised they didn't steal any of the Bravo equipment because, again, Bravo sets up, like, you know, your house with a certain amount of equipment, supposedly, to, you know, just have there so they don't have to lug it back and forth when they start, you know, filming, because she was supposed to start filming the next day. So Bravo people were there the day before, setting up, gave her stuff earlier, and then left. And, you know, it just seems like it was a storyline because it's like $500,000 on the line for her for next season, and she's unable to deliver. She's not going to be able to come back. Does this bring Teddy back? It might bring Teddy back in some capacity this season, be it friend of role, special appearances, something of that nature. Probably it's going to bring her back, unfortunately, because it was her husband who put in the system, and then now this is going to be her storyline. Is Dorit's storyline is this robbery. So I'm not going to be surprised if producers keep pushing for more information and more scenes talking about this. Let me know what you guys, you know, if you guys have more ideas. Said, okay, pal, you got to get the heat off me, and boom, she's robbed. Hey, I don't know. I wasn't there. But I do think that there's, you know, some sort of, you know, force there. What?
Window.
I need it. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. Sorry, guys. That was my husband. So, I'm over the Fox Force 5. I agree. I think I want something different. I know they're classy or this or that, but I think I really want something different. I want something a little bit more striking, a little bit more challenging, because we need another big personality to then challenge Erika and her BS and challenge them, not just secretly talk about them or go on confessionals. I think it's more playing into like a girl world fantasy that we don't really want to live in. We are Americans. We want the raunchiness of it all. They need to get broken up. I agree. I don't think they bring a lot. I think because they're trying to roll into this next thing, that they're not going to do a lot of investing in casting. We need LVP. Yes, I think we need someone of LVP status. So thank you guys so much for checking out this channel. Remember to share it, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll most likely be going live again after Real Housewives of Potomac Reunion Part 1. And we can unroll the footage together. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.